Yo, what's up guys, it's your boy Instincts, and today we are gonna be reacting to the Ghost of Yotei State of Play. Now, I know I'm a little bit late to this, like a few days late, but hey, I just didn't have time. Real life was a little too busy, so yeah, I'm getting into it now. And honestly, I have high expectations. Well, not through the roof high, but like I expect this game to be the game that Assassin's Creed Shadows was supposed to be. So yeah, fingers crossed we can get a good game that represents like the samurai, you know. So yeah, without further ado, boys, let's hop into it. Okay, let me just turn this up a little for you guys. There we go. Should be good. Saka Punchu.
Hello everyone, this is Jason Connell and Nate Fox from Sucker Punch Productions. Ghost of Tsushima was an honor to be a part of. And today, Nate and I get to share more about our next game, Ghost of Yotei.
Okay, instantly.
We'll be sharing how we've crafted the game around exploration while keeping Atsu's tale of vengeance front and center. We'll also talk about ghost combat and how it's evolved. And we'll introduce for the first time some new special modes of play. But let's start things off first by talking about a Japanese folk legend.
Okay, instantly that looks amazing. Graphically, wow. I'm assuming that's in-game. Oh, I don't know. Regardless, it looks good. Okay, Onryo, what is this about?
The people of Ezo believe Atsu is an Onryo, a wrathful ghost bent on revenge.
Okay.
And they're half right. Atsu doesn't care if she lives or dies, so long as she can punish the Yotei Six.
So she's like an outlaw. She just does her own thing.
Slaughtered her family.
Okay, we have
After
villains.
16 years in the south, she's returned home to put their spirits to rest.
We have villains. We have a reason why she's vengeful, because her family got killed by them apparently. No, interesting setup so far. I'm assuming that's a grave too. Yeah, it looks like it is.
Warm memories of her family that propel her forward. When Atsu returns to her childhood home with the push of a button,
Okay, that's cool.
experience those cherished times.
That's kind of sick. I like
By
that.
giving you the freedom to explore Atsu's past, the wound of her loss becomes personal. It's that pain that pushes her forward. Hunting down the Yotei Six is a near impossible task. She'll face 1,000 blades. But the Onryo is relentless, and with each victory, the ghost story around her grows.
Okay, yeah, no, she's definitely relentless. Cold, bro. He's cold-blooded. Okay, first thing. Game looks exceptional. But, you know, the previous game, Ghost of Tsushima, looked amazing too. And, I mean, this game is exclusively on the PS5, I'm assuming. So, it's kind of crazy how good these games actually look. That was kind of given. The first thing that drew me in about the first game was the environments and how good it looked. And, like, I can obviously see that it carried over to Ghost of Yotei. And yeah, the plot point seems kind of interesting, you know. She's kind of on revenge. She's kind of what do you call it? An outlaw? Would you call it an outlaw? Just going around trying to get revenge on the people that kind of took her family from her. So she has motivation. And hopefully these six people that we're trying to fight is the interesting characters, you know, because that kind of adds to it. She can be an interesting character, but if the villains are not interesting alongside her, you know, it kind of falls flat. So hopefully the villains are good, you know. And yeah, it looks like the whole mechanic of being able to flash back to your past is, I like it because it gives more context to everything. I'm just wondering if it's like a thing that you can do anywhere, or if it's something specifically to this story. I'm assuming it's, you know, reserved for only story beats. So like while you in specific cutscenes, they'll give you the option to flash back, and then you can see what happened. And, you know, that's the first logical conclusion that I'm coming to. But, you know, it's cool to get more context on the character, because then you start to resonate. And when you resonate, the story ultimately becomes good. And something you enjoy. And the visuals, wow, very vibrant, like it was very lush as well. Like, look at this, bro.
Ghost of Yotei
Look at the
focuses
grass on the
player
floor.
freedom more than any game Sucker Punch has ever
And this looks
made.
like
But it's
a
also a game that at its
in-game
heart is inspired by so
footage.
many of our favorite wandering samurai films. So let's start off by talking
That is
about
insane,
exploration
bro. Look at
the
that scenery.
edge of Japan. We all have different playstyles, so we set out to make an open world game that lets you drive your own
Wow,
experiences.
bro.
Whether that's your
That looks so
curiosity to
good.
wonder, your thirst for combat, or a deep desire to stay focused on the story. As you explore, there's an underlying clue system that invites you to new adventures in new areas of the game that could be appealing to you.
Okay.
If you interrogate an enemy, choosing to ask about the Oni, you could uncover a landscape scarred by fire.
Wait, hold up. Let me go back.
Ask about the Oni, you could
New weapon. Yotei, new region. Oh, so it seems like when you interrogate and the person gives you certain information, you can go and track either, like in this case, a new weapon or a new region.
uncover a landscape.
So it essentially
scarred by
allows you
fire
to
with
choose
more
what you
bold,
want.
Samurai-like enemies to fight and abilities for Atsu to
That's
learn.
cool.
Or if you ask about the Kitsune, might lead you to an area filled with snow and deception, enemies that ambush you, and new ninja-like tactics to study. Atsu
That's
draws
cool. I like
cards
that.
for each clue to keep track of all available adventures. The more you play, the more the game unfolds for you. As she makes progress against the Yotei,
It's a little
6, the
confusing
legend
though, but
as the Onryo
I think
grows.
it's a cool premises, you know?
It's her.
Bounty will go up, drawing the attention of deadlier foes.
Oh. Yeah, she's the type of character to demand attention when she enters a room, bro.
I'm looking for some old friends. The Yotei 6.
Show her the door.
Damn, that's a big man.
There is a hefty price on Atsu's head. Now, Atsu can also hunt down her own bounties that bring
Bounty?
her all around the land. This is a lucrative way to make
Okay. I like this. I like the fact that we can go around and hunt bounties, bro. That is sick. That is actually so cool. And it seems like it's boss fights too. I just hope that it's kind of like God of War's Valkyrie system where, you know, the characters are harder. Like they're not just a walk in a park, not a walk in a park. So you can't just push them over. I hope that there's some resistance that these guys offer, you know? Besides the Yotei 6, which is ultimately your goal. But, you know? I hope there's a good amount of challenge in this. Because that can be interesting. The first game wasn't that hard at all. So, you know? That presents something interesting in my opinion.
Hidden in the world are altars of reflection. Finding one inspires Atsu and unlocks a new ability to help her.
Yeah, I think these were in the
journey ahead.
previous game. Yeah, it's a skill tree, so I
They
think
are
when
fun to
you
find
hit
on their
those, you
own,
can...
But for a quicker route, you can always buy a traveler's map from the cartographer.
Okay.
Ghost of Yotei.
So I think that's how you
isn't going
upgrade
to rush
your
you through
your
anything.
skill tree. The
You can
altars.
choose what motivates you most. But we think the best way to play is to simply pull out your spyglass,
Okay, that's
find
cool.
something interesting on the horizon, and enjoy the ride.
That's right.
Considering this game is open world, I think that is such a cool thing. The fact that you can spot something off in the distance and then just pull out your spyglass, mark it, and then it seems like they're going into like a whole auto traveling system. Like, you know, the one in Red Dead Redemption where they play cinematics of you just on your horse traveling to the location. This seems kind of similar. So they also brought up the point that it's a game that you don't need to, that you shouldn't rush through, which I agree with like 100%, because these games are so lush. They have so much like visual storytelling. So you might come across a body with like a specific sword and like a crate next to him with a note. And then you read the note and it's like, it gives you the introduction to why this person is here with the sword and crate. And then, you know, through little clues, you might figure out, oh, this is what happened to them, or this is why they ended up, you know, ultimately dying in this location. So I love little things like that. Visual storytelling is such a cool thing. And a game this lush, you know, with so much detail, I think it's important to take your time, you know, soak it all in, kind of enjoy the experience. Don't just rush through it like with your head down, because ultimately as trophy hunters, I'm watching this from the perspective of someone that hunts trophies in these games, and you know, it can become very easy to just sit with your head down with a guide open on the side and just, you know, rush through everything because you want to get to the next game. I think taking your time kind of pulls you back and makes sure that you enjoy the games that you play, because ultimately you paying for this, bro. There's no escaping that, and it's probably going to be $80. So, you know, you kind of want to take your time and get everything, get the full experience, if I can put it that way. So, you know, definitely take your time with it. I think it's such an important thing. Man, that looks beautiful. Yeah, I'm seeing a little frame drops from time to time, but you know, the game's still a whiles out, so ultimately I think they could polish that up. The first game was pretty well polished, so I'm assuming the second one will come out pretty good too. It's looking good so far, boys, that's for sure.
Lands around Yotei are
Wow,
vast.
man.
It's not about checking it all off. It's about
Those paintings were in the previous game, right? The bamboo was in the previous game. Oh, we even have the hot springs.
And let the wind
I think those
guide
are
you
all
on your hunt.
collectibles. Or like little activities around the world that you need to do.
Ezo is a dangerous place. Atsu always wields a weapon. As for which, that's up to you. Will you choose a katana, spear,
Okay.
surigama, odachi, or dual swords? Each is uniquely effective against a particular enemy, and
That
has
is
their
such kinda
own
cool.
set of upgrades to discover and master.
I like that. I like the fact that they tailor certain weapons towards certain enemies. It means you have to change up your playstyle and ultimately, you know, stop running the same thing that you keep running the whole time too. Because I fall into that trap, bro. I fall into the trap of using the same weapon the same time just because it's the most effective thing. And even if it's not the most effective against a different enemy, I usually just brute force it. So I'm keen on the possibility of, you know, swapping weapons, kind of learning what enemies are weak to what weapons and then dealing with them accordingly. I think it adds a different dynamic to the game. So that's cool. I can't remember if the first game had as many weapon options, but yeah, I'm not going to embarrass myself and speak on that because it's been a while since I played that game. But I like that. I really like that.
Let's see how she uses these weapons in the field, searching for leads on Lord Saito.
This is our food, from our soil. The soldiers needed more to free you.
Okay, it seems like these bushes act as little things to use for stealth. Same like the first game. Wow, they just then witnessed the murder firsthand, bro. That's crazy.
She's a lone wolf mercenary who'll use every advantage, every dirty trick to win a fight.
Okay. I've noticed that there's less of an emphasis on being the ghost, like being
Combat has
silent, like in the
feel
first
of a
game.
Classic samurai movie.
You know?
Every motion counts. It's about lethal precision.
It seems more like she's more like you said, hell-bent on getting revenge, so she doesn't care about how she does it, as long as she gets a target down. Combat looks smooth like
If
ever.
an enemy swings hard, Atsu can lose her weapon. But if she's quick, she can disarm them.
My bad, boys.
Choose the right weapon for the job. To fight
Okay, it seems like
massive
those raid
enemies,
attacks you can't really
huge Odachi
dodge.
blade.
Or you have to dodge them, sorry, you can't parry them. Okay, the Odachi. It's like a big katana essentially. Such a cool weapon. I think that will definitely be my weapon of choice if I could main a weapon, if I can call it like that.
He looks like the one in charge.
Such a sick blade, bro.
We feast.
Okay, got the stealth takedowns. Ooh, 3 in a row, too.
Blades are great, but ranged weapons work too.
That
And
is
Atsu's
fire.
got an arsenal.
Bounty hunter.
Ooh, hit him with a parry, too.
Ghost.
Yeah, it seems like those red flashes you have to dodge
Bombs or even blinding powder can give
because you
Atsu
can't
an edge.
block them, if I can call them that, or parry it.
When enemies switch weapons,
Blue ones you can
you'll have to
parry.
adapt.
And then
Dual
I think
swords
the
are best
gold
against
play is when you can knock the enemy's weapon out of their hand. So it seems like it's a good mix of mechanics in the combat too.
No more.
Grips him. Ooh, that master's kind of cool. Looks like
Tell
a
me what
ball.
you know about Saito.
And then we have the
Atsu
interrogation.
doesn't always fight alone. She'll meet several allies on her hunt, including a mysterious wolf.
Okay, we have companions in combat. That's cool. You know, I wonder if they're gonna have more companions, like more than just the
Atsu can
wolf.
set up camp under the stars of Ezo,
But I like that.
but she's not always alone.
I do like that.
Hey friend, share your fire with the traveling peddler?
What are you selling?
A mask said to be cursed with the unpredictable nature of its previous owner.
Camping under the stars is a great way to rest up, play your shamisen, or cook to ready for a fight ahead. It's also designed to help bring important characters and upgrades straight to you. In fact, in place of the journal menu from Ghost of Tsushima, we've opted for a
Growth
more
Wolfpack map
character-driven way of
here,
managing
inventory and
allies
in settings.
vendors you
Okay.
meet in Ezo.
Just wanted to check to make sure that I don't miss anything
Atsu grows
cool,
to
you
have her
know, like
own
little
wolf pack.
breadcrumbs they might be
Here, you can
leaving
keep
here.
track of when a sensei might have a weapon skill for you, or when a vendor has something unique to sell.
Okay,
Managing upgrades,
that's cool.
resources, when to buy what, can be a burden in a big open world game. At
True.
campsites, members of your wolf pack can catch up with you, offering upgrades and unique items. This helps ensure you have every opportunity to upgrade and prepare for Atsu's vengeance quest ahead. You don't have to leave where you're exploring, the game comes to you.
Okay, yeah, I was about to say, it seems like this whole system of the camping or the campfire essentially means that you don't have to go and stop what you're doing to go somewhere else. You can just upgrade on the fly, which is it's a cool quality of life thing to have, because you know it's often where you might be on a quest, you might be going to a quest, and like your upgrade station is all the way across the map, and having to backtrack, even though you can sometimes fast travel, you know, it might still be tedious to go from here and there because you get stuck in loading screens. Although loading screens are kind of trivial these days, you know, you don't load for that long, but still it kind of breaks your flow, if I can put it that way. So I like this. This is a cool thing to have. I think it means you can be more prepared for more fights, ultimately, is what I'm seeing from this. Customization. Okay. I'm interested in
While
this.
exploring Ezo, you'll discover all sorts of new armor, charms, and gear.
Yep. The first game had a
Perfect for
lot
building up
already.
Atsu around your chosen playstyle. Are you stealth, ranged, or melee focused? Find and combine the pieces that are just right for you. And
Yeah, so you
of
can kind of
course,
tailor your experience
customize
to
the
how
look
you
of
like
your
to play.
armor and weapons to make sure that your version of Atsu
And there's a lot of
looks
customization.
and fights just
Damn.
the way you want.
Ooh. That is sick. Okay. One thing I will say is, I hope, and I'm assuming that none of those are attached to microtransactions, which is a W, bro. Games has this tendency, or gaming these days, in games, they have a tendency of making customization look average, you know, somewhat average. And it gives them more of a reason to kind of push microtransactions onto you so you feel incentivized to buy them, because the base game stuff is like, it's boring, you know, it's just a recolor of the skin you already have or something like that. So the fact that they have so many cool outfits just as a base, boys, that's something we need more of in games. I love that. I love that. You know, you kind of want to make yourself look unique. And I think that is a good way to do it. W for that.
Ghost of Yotei is incredibly special to us.
Okay. That's a vibe.
Our amazing composer, Toma Otoa, has created a mashup of Eastern instrumentation with Western flavors, brought to life through an exciting collaboration of many talented artists.
でこうダウンビートまで
If you like what you heard, we're releasing 2 tracks featured in today's State of Play on
Hey,
your
that's
favorite
cool.
streaming service immediately after the show.
Bro, still, we are, what, 15 minutes into this video? The state of play and the visuals are still, like, blowing my mind. This game looks amazing. Also, on music, you guys might think this is, like, something that is completely pointless, but, like, oh, it's not, it doesn't play that big of a part. I promise you, music in games are just, it's the, I can put it, it's the icing on top of the cake. It's the cherry on top of the cake, is what I mean to say. But it adds so much to the atmosphere of the game. It adds so much to the feeling of the game. For example, I'm playing Devil May Cry. I played the whole Devil May Cry series, and when you are absolutely going insane on enemies, like whipping them, juggling in the air, comboing them, the only thing that makes you feel cooler than you already are is badass music in the background. When the music hits, it hits, and it adds so much to how you perceive that moment in time, you know, how you enjoy that moment. It makes you just feel so much cooler when you're doing all of those things. So I think people don't put enough emphasis on music. Like, for example, even in Elden Ring, the music was so good. It just adds so much to the mood and feeling of the environments that you're in, the enemies you fight, you know. So I think it's such an underrated thing, but good music in games it's such a important thing to get right, you know. If you get that right, it's one more thing to just make that game special and push it over the top. So I like that they put emphasis on that. Special modes can be niche, but you know, I think it's cool.
The digital photography community for Ghost of Tsushima.
First thing they're highlighting
incredible.
is photography
We're
mode.
happy to have photo mode back in Ghost of Yotei and look forward to seeing photos from your journey across Ezo.
I like this. I like that they're doing this. Good thing they're highlighting that. Reason being, also sorry for pausing so much, but you know, there's always something that I'm thinking about. Reason why I love this is because I used to be part of the visual photography like community on, is it Reddit, I think, and even on Twitter, or X as it's now called. I was a big part, not a big part, but like I used to not compete, but I used to kind of go through it and see all these pictures people would take. And like, I'm a graphic designer as a actual job in real life. So it's something that I like because composition, colors, and all these things come into play. And the things people do with this is just insane. I will probably add some pictures in here that people have taken, and I'll try to credit them too if I can find their names. But it's insane how good some of the pictures are that these people take. And yeah, I like that it's being highlighted here because, you know, it brings so much life to the game as well. It's a different side. It's a community that not a lot of people are aware of, but I encourage you, if you just want cool like wallpapers or screenshots or things like that, I encourage you to look at virtual photography. It is the coolest thing ever.
We want playing through Ghost of Yotei to feel like stepping inside of your favorite classic samurai films. So, from the beginning of the game, we're happy to offer full Japanese voice track with full lip sync that you can play
I like
with
that
subtitles.
because I'm definitely playing Japanese with subs. I watch a lot of anime, so I'm used to, oops, I hit my mic. I'm used to that. Also, I think the the Eastern voice actors get celebrated way more than Western voice actors. So these people put their heart and souls into these roles. Like, you can hear how much emotion and, like, you know, they put into it. I love it. I absolutely adore it.
To take the feeling of stepping into a classic samurai
So cool,
cinema
bro.
experience one step further.
Oh, I'm getting
we are
excited.
honored to once again partner with acclaimed director Akira Kurosawa's estate for Kurosawa Mode, which emulates his classic black and white films.
Kurosawa mode. Okay, I think this was in the first game, right? I'm pretty sure it was. It's cool though. You know, you can essentially be in your own Japanese old school samurai movie. It's not my cup of tea. I personally wouldn't play the game like this, but you know, it has its moments where it can be really cool. So
For Ghost of
I think
Yotei, we
that's
wanted to
nice.
celebrate two other influential directors who have had an impact on the genre as a whole.
Ooh, frame drops again.
First, we've partnered with Takeshi Miike, director of 13 Assassins, for a mode that puts the camera closer during combat for a more intense, raw experience along with increased mud and blood splatter.
That's cool. I like that.
Lastly, we've partnered with the director of Samurai Champloo, Shinichiro Watanabe.
Wait,
Turn this
whoa,
mode on to listen to
whoa.
some original lo-fi tracks directed by Watanabe himself.
Boys, okay. I am so excited for this mode specifically. Wow. I did not expect that. That is so cool. I've watched all of Champloo and it is amazing. Top tier anime. If you have not watched it, bro, watch it. The music is peak. It is so good. So definitely, once I finish the story,
There's
I will
so
be playing
many
the game
ways to
like
make
that.
your
Just listening
Ghost
to
of Yotei
lo-fi beats in the
playthrough
background,
your
bro.
No matter
100%.
how you play, here's one way to experience Ghost of Yotei
100%. That's
that
how
is
I'm
sure
experiencing
to
the
be
game.
special.
That is sick, bro. Probably one of the coolest things in the state of play, I'm not gonna lie. Hey, what is this? Oh, it's a PlayStation. Yeah, that's fire. I like that. Something I will never buy, but really cool. That is sick. Kind of subtle too, so I like it. I like subtlety. Very tastefully done.
Today, you've got a glimpse into Atsu's hunt for the Yotei 6.
Yeah, I think that's essentially it, right? Yeah, it's
Forge your
essentially it.
own
I'm just
path,
gonna talk over the top, so I'm gonna mute this or make it softer. But yeah, no, boys, this just looks like more Ghost of Tsushima, Ghost of Yotei, whatever you want to call it. It looks like they took the base game, the first game, and just expanded on it. You know, added some quality of life, added some new things. I think the customization being so vast is cool. More amazing environment. I think the character is interesting, even though a lot of people are like, they wanted to play as the old character. You know, if she has a good story, I do not care. I do not care if she's a female. I don't care if she's a male. I don't care what she is. As long as the story hits and resonates, it's something that I love. So I think that was good. And then the one thing that I loved as well was the fact that they had the bounty system. The bounties could potentially be cool. If they do it like I think they could do it, like the Valkyries from God of War, and like, you know, add some challenge, because the first game wasn't that hard. You could obviously play it on a harder difficulty to make it harder for yourself, but you know, I like that the bounties are there, and it's potentially a thing that could be interesting to mess with. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought of the state of play. I loved it so far. I think it's set to be like another 8 or 9 out of 10 game. But yeah, we'll see once it comes out. I also want to do something real quick and just speculate on the trophies, because, like, you know, I'm watching this from the perspective of a trophy hunter, so I think there's there may be new things that they can do. But you know, as I said before, it's just a continuation of the Ghost of Tsushima or the Ghost of Yotei series. So I think it's obviously a lot of it's going to be quite similar. I just think about Spider-Man as well in that case. Spider-Man 2, Miles Morales, they all had kind of the same like foundation when it comes to trophies, and generally speaking, they don't differ from game to game. So I'm expecting a lot of the same things, like, for example, a lot of story stuff. Pardon. These, I think the tales are probably linked to side quests, specific side quests that have like more than one mission in them. You have combat specific things like the perfect parries, shoot a terrified enemy while with an arrow, while they are fleeing. And you know, I think this is cool because it gives you a lot of different ways to play the game. I mean, obviously most of the time you find a very optimized way of playing the game. You use a specific weapon and it's the fastest way to get through the game. But you know, from time to time it would be cool to use one of these techniques, and without these trophies sometimes you won't even like know they're there. So that's cool. I like that. You obviously have your upgrades and stuff, like upgrading your sword fully, upgrading your skill tree, your talent tree fully. So I think that's going to make a return like always. And then collectibles is definitely going to be a thing. We even saw it in the actual trailer, the hot springs, the cutting of the bamboo, the shrines that you have to like honor and all those kinds of things, all under collectibles. So I think that will definitely happen. And then you have miscellaneous things like photo mode, play the lament of the storm at the friend's grave, you know, like random things that just go around where it's like, oh, do this here because one of your friends might have passed away here, so it's like paying homage to him, or you know, little miscellaneous trophies. And then here, as you guys can see, these trophies are more specifically towards completion. So it's like you have the whole map, but in the map you have subsections, like little sections divided off, and these are essentially for clearing all of those subsections, all the activities within them. So like taking out all the enemy camps, taking out like collecting all the collectibles in those areas. The same thing Spider-Man essentially has. So if you've played that, you would be quite familiar with this. And then the one thing that I do think that they can potentially add, like I said, is the bounty system. I think the bounty system has potential to add new trophies, you know. Like I said, maybe they should make it a thing that's a little bit more challenging, you know, something that you push through towards more middle to end game, where you have to fight or take down these bounties and it can award you with cool like weapons. Maybe one of them has like a very unique Kodachi that you might want, and then you take him out, and then that's part of your arsenal now. You know, there's a lot of opportunities for that. And like I said, I would like a little bit more difficulty related to that too. So I think those could all be trophies that we could potentially see. DLC trophy pack 1 and I believe this one, pack 5, are multiplayer. So I don't think we're gonna get a multiplayer for Yotei. It just doesn't make sense. The first one didn't like really captivate players, so I think it's something that they won't include. And then Iki Island is a normal expansion, and like these first party games generally have, they have a new game plus pack as well. So I will definitely expect this at some point. And then I could potentially see a DLC coming out for this if the game is received well enough, which judging by the state of play we just saw, I think that will definitely be the case. So yeah, you know, not too much variation. These games tend to have the same trophy list. Same thing with Horizon, Forbidden West and Zero Dawn, similar trophy lists. Same thing with Spider-Man. So yeah, I'm not expecting a revolutionary trophy list, but you know, something similar to this. So yeah, if you guys enjoy the videos like this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, turn on notifications in case you guys want to see anything that I do as soon as it drops. And I think I'm definitely going to do more reaction videos like this in the future. I think there's a good, you know, it's a good discussion to have around the games and like what we can expect. I would try to include trophy list like expectations as well, especially if the game has a prequel. You know, it's kind of easy to come up with the conclusion of what the trophies would be for the new game. So I'll try and include those too. And yeah, boys, that's been the video. If you guys enjoyed, like I said, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace and love, boys.